Hi everyone, welcome back to the Coding and Analysis YouTube channel. In the previous video, we added NumPy, Log1p, NumPy, Expm1 to our code, our XGBoost Regressor code. So we can see here in the target variable, we transformed it to Log1p. So all the sold prices are going to get transformed into a compressed number for smoothing out extreme prices and stabilizing variance and trying to improve model performance. And then we add it again when we're predicting our MAE scores. We add the numpy.exmp1, so we transform it back to dollars. We make our predictions in our training set and our testing set. And then we also have to add the expm1 for the actual sold prices. So this is the model's predictions and the training set and the testing set and the actual sold prices. So we have to transform those back to dollars. And then at the end, we have to transform the combined training and test split for our CSV file. For this one, this widespread train, widespread test is just determining the mean absolute error. So we're making these XGBoost.predict calls for the mean absolute error, but we're making the XGBoost.predict call or method for the X for the feature columns that we have used. So all of these columns right here. So that's predicting on those columns to determine all the sold prices, the training and the tests model predictions. And then we create our new column, predicted price, and we use the numpy.expm1 to transform it back to dollar signs, and then we make our data frame. In our data frame, we have our models predictions and the sold price predictions. So we make 3.predict methods or calls. We make the ones up here for the mean absolute error testing, and we make the one right here for printing out on our data frame the combined, just the results, model results for the combined training and test. So we get the results, and from our analysis, it was slightly lower. The R-square score was slightly lower, and the MAE was slightly higher than the previous when the Log1p and the XPM was not added. But we're going to look at the results anyway in the spreadsheet. So this was a little higher at 0.852 and a little lower at 233,000. But let's look at our spreadsheet. So we can see here the XGBoost Regressor Log1p has 148 within range or within 15%, 9 that are from 15% to 20%, and 16 that are greater than 20%. So it scored better than the previous models. This XGBoost Regressor, this is with 30 homes that didn't have lot sizes filled in. They were blank, so they were just turned to 0. And in this model, XGBoost with lots. So these are those lot sizes that were scraped and they were inputted into our model for the calculations. And this is the XGBoost Regressor Log1p with the Log1p and Expm1 added, and we get better. This is really our best score that we've had. We've had 16 large outliers, 9 the medium, 148 within range. And we'll look at the spreadsheet right here. So we have our 702 Harbor Boulevard. That was the one that we did the worst. Our model did worst on. It undervalued it 968,000. And we'll just take a look at 702 Harbor Boulevard. I think we've looked at it before. It's as a boat dock. It doesn't have beachfront water frontage, but it has bayfront water frontage. It's only 3 beds, 1 bath, 1740. It's completely remodeled. And I think maybe one aspect of why it's such our model had it so low is maybe the square footage. If you look at our feature importances, square footage is 12.6% and bass is 28%. And when our model sees that it's 1740 and 1 bath, then I can see why it made a much lower prediction, even though the water frontage is the most important feature important. So that kind of, in your mind, the 1 bath and 1700 square feet, that's kind of small for a house, especially a house in Destin, Florida. Probably the average square footage is close to 2,500 square feet. I don't even think there's any photos here. There's only 4 photos, so there's not even a photo of the house, but you can see it right here. There looks like an in-ground pool, and you can see the house right there. And it doesn't really say, it just says home was taking down the studs. And is ready. Okay, so that makes sense. Harbor living on this beautiful lot. This home is ready for complete remodel for your own style. This home has been taken down to the studs and ready for your own remodeling. Has a 1344 square feet and guest house with 317 square feet. So it's in need of repairs. It's needs repairs. So if it didn't have this waterfront, so it sold for 1,600. If it didn't have the waterfront, if it didn't have this water frontage and the dock, then it wouldn't have sold for 1,600 square feet and $1.6 million. It's actually really interesting that it sold for $1.6 million, even though it needs repairs. If we lower it in, so it's not on the beach lot frontage, beach access, but it has this, I guess it's a little bay, little inlet right here, and it's on this inlet of water. So that's really interesting. How it's in the Redfin estimate, it's at basically at 1.6 million. So the Redfin estimate had it correct. So for 1.6. So that's interesting. Even though our model still got it wrong, but if the water frontage wasn't included, just basically with the square footage, it's 1,700 square feet and 1 bath, it would definitely drop considerably, probably closer to around here. So that's explaining this difference right here. The baths and the square feet. 804 Harbor Lane. So I guess let's see, 804 Harbor Lane. Let's take a look at that one quickly. So this doesn't look like it has beach or waterfront. There's no photos either. And there's 2 baths, 1,600 square feet. It sold on June 12th, 2025. Doesn't look like it was marketed. There's no photos. Redfin estimate 513,000. Our model had it at 401,000. So our model on the test sample and undervalued. So all these in the tests, all these in the large variances, they're all in the test sample. All in the test sample. And some of these that were in the medium, like 859 Cal Air Drive, that was previously a large outlier at 22. We now lowered it to minus 16.57. And then the 69 Crystal Beach Drive, that was at 23 and it lowered at 17.9. So the Log1p looks to have improved in a little, especially from that analysis that we looked at. So there was a little improvement. So that's good. It's fun to try something new and try to improve our models and see, what the results are going to be. I'll look at a few more of these. Stonebridge Road. So this says test sample underestimated selling furnished. And the reason selling furnished, so I would say if selling furnished with all the furniture, that's maybe like $100,000 maybe. So if it wasn't furnished, it might be 1.7 million, maybe around there. So our model had it at 1.46 million and it sold for 1.85. So if it was at 1.7 around there, it might not be. It'd be close. It might be put in the medium outliers. I'd have to do the math on that. But the selling with fully furnished, that has a factor into why it's 1.85. It's a little higher. I think the model 1.8 million, 1,832,000. The Redfin estimate has it close than our model. Our model is a little bit lower, 1.46 million. And we'll look at Garnet Place, closer to the Redfin estimate home not updated. Our model had it 832,000. It sold for 630,000. This is in the test sample. You can see here 630. It was marketed. It looks dated carpet. The home, the kitchen looks in the 90s. As an in-ground pool. It's on the golf course. But if our model if there was a property column, hopefully, I would say our model probably would have been closer to 630 if we would be able to factor property size and put it into a numbered, 0 being the best, 1 being well maintained, 2 being dated, 3 being needs repairs, 4 being significant repairs, but we weren't able to do that with the data extraction. But the one thing that's good here is we can see here, we can analyze it and see, why is our model a little bit higher, and just go into it and understand, oh, well, the home is dated, has been updated, and can put in our mind, if it was updated and renovated, it would be closer to 832,000. Especially the Redfin estimate has it as 796, so the Redfin estimate is closer to ours. So that's good. That's a win for us. It was just the property condition that's the reason for the outlier. And some of these, Quail Lake Boulevard, Quail Lake, it's in the training. Previous outliers 34, and home needs repairs. Our model 354,000, it's out for 285. If we go into here, I think it's the one that's was being winterized and possibly in REO. Oh no, this is a different one. So this is just it's being sold as is. It's dated, not updated kitchen, countertops are laminate, or not laminate, but they're not granite. They're not what a seller wants, but the seller would buy it and renovate everything. So you can see here that to take a large haircut on it. They listed it for $495, and they just had to keep dropping. I guess they wanted to list it like that. Just hope that somebody was dumb enough to buy it at that price, and then they had to lower it all the way to 285 just to sell it, because it's not. It says lakefront, so lakefront, but I think as we've seen that doesn't really have very. I guess you would just have to cut the trees away to get the lake frontage view, and it's not brick. It's just siding. Looks like vinyl, just vinyl siding. So nothing spectacular, nothing really spectacular about the house, and it needs to be renovated and updated. So I can see why I sold for 285, even though the Redfin estimate's 459, which was a little higher than which was higher than ours. But 354, if they 354 to 400, if they put they renovated it, it'd probably be bump the price, the like appraised price for the home to 400, 350, 400. So that's it for this analysis for the Log1p. We go back and look at it. It's a little bit better. 16 large outliers compared to 18 and 19, and the same medium outliers and a little bit more for the within range. So it actually was an improvement from the previous models. So that was what we were looking for, a little improvement, even though the R-square score showed it was lower, a tad lower, but that was for the testing set. So 0.971 was the combined training and test of the R-square score, and 0.98, so just slightly off. And you can attribute that to maybe the homes are within range. The homes right here that are within range, maybe there's within higher percentage points in the within range for the Log1p, but they are in the lower. It was a lower percentage for the large outliers and medium outliers. So that's why our model did Log1p did better, because it lowered the outliers, lowered some of the outliers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 from here moved into the medium outliers, and then some for the medium outliers moved into the within range. So that's it for that video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye.